One of the most common lies that we tell ourselves is that we're not lying to ourselves. And I think to some degree, we are all lying to ourselves in some way, shape, or form. It's hard to admit, especially if you don't think you can change it. It's hard to admit if you feel like it's beating yourself up. And maybe the hardest time to admit it is when you're not ready for change yet.
I think the greatest sign of maturity is one being honest with themselves. Kev, some of my clients, the ones that I would bet on the most, are the people that the story to themselves about themselves is the most accurate.
Next Level Nation, today for episode number 2034. How often are you lying to yourself? So we're going to hit you with an 18-minute episode on lies. And that's the truth. Pretty good, huh?
Nice.
Pretty good. Okay. Somebody commented, shout out to Jake. Somebody commented on a recent YouTube video. It was the your future self may hate you if you do
Jake,
something.
If you're watching this, brother, reach out to Kevin and I on Instagram. We would love to e-connect, to meet you.
Let's e-connect. He commented, this hands-on episode is one of the best I've heard in a while. I know the principles of future you, but I have to admit to be 100% on the wrong side of that. YouTube games, mobile, scrolling, dopamine hits, living for the now, but thinking about the future. Thanks, and I hope you guys have a great seminar today. Appreciate you, man. Strong.
Nice.
Appreciate those kind words so much.
Way to go, Jake. Appreciate you.
And I'm not calling you
way
out.
to self-honesty on that.
100%.
That's
and
a lot of self-honesty. That's good.
I'm not calling you out on this episode, Jake. But that was a really good example of this, where essentially I know the principles. I know the principle of future you versus current you, and I think a lot of us do. We know that eventually we're going to have to pay the piper with whatever it is. Well, I'll clean up my diet eventually. It's like, no, you most likely won't until something bad happens. All of us are guilty of this in some way, shape, or form. I used to lie to myself about weed all the time. It's like, this is good for me. Like I feel good when I do it.
This is 7 years in the making. I tried to tell you.
You did. I feel like you should have told me harder, though. I do. I don't. At the time, I didn't want it.
I tried.
I don't think so.
I tried.
Did you hold me down and make me smoke the whole pack? No, never. Never once. I would have done
All right,
it.
real quick. There are several things Kevin and I 8 years ago that I wish he was harder on me about, because after I made a transformation or a change, I said, Kev, he's like, I knew. I tried to tell you. And I'm like, well, you didn't fucking try that hard, man. Oh my God. Well, I'm glad that that's happening to both of us.
I deluded myself.
Yeah.
I deluded myself. And here's the fact. Here's the truth. This is the fact. I didn't want to change yet.
Yeah.
I didn't. I still want to smoke weed.
Not only did you delude yourself, you got me to do a bong rip. No, I'm kidding.
First
You
of all,
didn't. You didn't. Hey,
dare
I'm joking.
you.
Hey, I take full responsibility for my actions. He didn't peer pressure me to do this. I was willing. Worst idea ever, man. I didn't smoke for years, and I took a bong rip.
You were willing and able until you were not able anymore. We had to put Alan to bed.
Oh, that was bad. I had to go nap time.
I think that's a really good example. I think we all, again, it's not that for everybody, but there's something. There's no human on the planet who is 100% honest with themselves at all times. I don't think that's even possible.
No, it's not.
Because we don't have the awareness to be 100%.
That's what I'm going for, though.
You're going for 100%?
I'm going for 100%. It's an asymptote. You never get there. Shout out to the person who reached out on Instagram, keep it anonymous, who said, I really like what you said about the asymptotic function when it comes to reaching your potential. It's a mountain that gets higher as you climb it. You never fully get there. And for those of you out there, asymptote, it's the line, the equation that gets closer and 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 closer to 100%, but never actually gets to 100%. So you never really reach your potential. It's an infinite game. Just a little side math.
What do you advise? What would the Alan Lazarus next level 3-step system for self-honesty be? Pretty good. The Next Level Honesty Accelerator. Excuse me.
Okay. Can I just answer and not give you the 3 things?
I'd prefer 3 if possible, but yeah, let's see what you got.
Let me try. I don't think it's 3. The first step would be, okay, the first step is I have a goal to get to a level beyond the level I'm at.
Okay.
Okay.
Of honesty. Of self-honesty.
No. I had a client recently tell me, so all of this is impossible without goals? I said, yes. Of course. Let me explain. You're not going to intentionally learn things. Like, okay, you knew we had Kev one time up in our attic checking something. You remember? I don't even remember what it was.
Yeah, you had a leaky pipe or something somewhere I was checking on, I think. Oh, no, it was your HVAC. Your HVAC was out.
Yeah. Goddamn. Dude, this was a new build, quote unquote new build, 2006 or 2007. This was built. Dude, 20 years, everything starts going to shit. Right? Isn't that the like?
I don't know. I don't know.
I told Emilia I want to buy homes that were built in this century. I'm not for it has character. And again, for anyone out there with a house with character, I see you. I understand. I want functional. Utility is the way.
If it has character, it probably has termites as well.
Yeah, it's very possible.
You know?
So anyways, we had Kev up in our attic. Why? Because you did weatherization. You didn't wake up in the morning and go, I really think I'm going to go learn about weatherization today. No, you had a goal to make more money. A company that did weatherization offered you more money, and then you went and learned it because you had to, not because you want to. Human beings learn out of necessity. We don't learn for funsies. I learned spreadsheets because I was screwed if I didn't, right? I didn't wake up going, I hope for spreadsheets. Okay. So anyways, number 1, set a goal. We've talked about how if you don't have a high self-belief, that's going to be hard. So set a goal congruent with your level of self-belief. It has to be any goal. It can be a week from now. It can be a week out. It can be a month out. It can be a quarter out. It can be 10 years out, depending on your level of self-belief. Number 1 is set a goal. Number 2, figure out where you're lying to yourself when it has to do with that goal.
How do you know? I have my answer for this, but how do you know when you're lying to yourself?
When it's not working. But it takes a while. So I said this earlier on a podcast. I said there's 2 reasons in this moment why people aren't achieving their goals. Either number 1, they haven't waited long enough for the seed to actually become a plant. It might actually work. It's not going to happen overnight. Right? Mm-hmm. And that's alarmingly a lot of the case. Like what you're doing might actually be working. You just aren't doing it long enough. And then you stop before the seed becomes a plant. You stop watering the seed when it's a little under the ground thing. You're not going to ever see any results. Yeah. Under the ground thing.
I was going to let that slide.
Appreciate it. All right. The second reason is because, and I really like the quote that you have for this, the reason you're not successful at your goals is not because you don't believe enough in what you already believe. It's because you have inaccurate beliefs. You have an inaccurate understanding. So that's the second one that I would talk about is, okay, step 1 is set the goal. Step 2 is figure out where you're inaccurate. And you said, how do you do that? You look at...
How do you know when you're lying to yourself? Alan immediately goes to goal setting. It's like, goals.
Wait, lying. How do you know when you're lying to yourself?
Yeah, how do you know when you're lying to yourself?
I think you have your own bullshit radar. This is hard to answer because if you were in my head, my thoughts are very honest. That's why a lot of people don't like me. Because I say things that you're not allowed to say. Even the dog thing with all the ethnicities, I was like, whoa, I wonder if that came off wrong.
I don't think so.
Because a lot of people delude themselves into wanting to believe we're all equal and everyone's the same. And it's like, well, that's not actually genetically true. You're not allowed to say that, though, right? There's a lot of truths in real life that a lot of people you're not allowed to talk about.
That's fair.
Socially, right? And that's really hard for me because in real life, if you don't face the truth, you can't really win. Like the Abercrombie model thing, a lot of people would call me mean for saying you can't be an Abercrombie model. It's like, listen, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying don't waste your fucking time.
Well, it's not as mean if I agree.
But you wouldn't agree if you were lying to yourself.
I know, but if I was lying to myself, that would have broken me.
Yeah.
To a degree, right? That's why it's you can only give level 4 feedback to a level 4 relationship. You can't give level 10 feedback.
Yeah, it's one of my biggest problems, for sure.
Well, it's a hard thing for sure.
For sure. It's brutal. Okay. I don't know if I know an answer because I feel like I do. I think we all have a bullshit radar with ourselves and other people, and I think we just have to learn how to use it.
I would agree with that. I don't know if there is. I think you know. That's always my answer. It's like, you know.
You ever play the game bullshit with cards?
Would you just essentially lie about what cards you have?
So the goal is to get rid of all your cards, and if you said 3 4s, but it was actually a 2 and 2 4s, they can call bullshit, and then you take the whole deck. Like, you take the whole pile. There's a scene in How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, which I think is an underrated movie. I think that movie's hilarious. But we used that in a relationship talks event. Emilia and I coach couples and the Conscious Couples podcast, and we used that movie. It was awesome. I love Fern. Have you seen that film?
No, of course not.
Oh, it's good. It's funny. I thought you would have seen it because it's a comedy. Romantic comedy.
That's
Rom-coms aren't for you.
That's a romantic comedy. That's
hey, underrated movie. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. It's all the things not to do. I think it's a good study. Anyways.
I don't disagree. I just was never into McConaughey. Just never did it for me. I never understood why everybody was so drawn to him. A good-looking dude.
Charismatic dude.
But his acting is good, but like in the beginning, in the rom-coms.
Yeah. Well, you haven't seen Amistad. I mean, there's a lot of other ones.
I've never seen Amistad, no.
Pretty strong. Interstellar, unreal. Come on. Okay, doesn't matter. I'm not going to defend McConaughey here. Although I do have his book behind me, Green Lights. I actually thought it was pretty good. So I'll give him that. But anyways, I couldn't put that one down. I was up at 2 a.m. listening to that. Like, I heard our business listening to that. 100%.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, number 1, set the goal. Number 2, bullshit radar. I think that you can... Listen, it's not socially acceptable to call everyone else out on their bullshit. And I'm going to give you an example. And my mom and I are good, so I'm going to say this. And if you were listening, Mom, that's okay. You were here for this. She was at the dinner table, and she was like, well, the reason I'm fat is because I quit smoking. And I said, Mom, like, are there people who quit smoking who aren't fat? And she used the word overweight, I think. But I think she actually might have used the word fat, actually. And she said, well, yeah. And I said, well, that's obviously not it then. Like, the real reason, and I'm saying this because I love you. I actually said it this way. Mom, the reason you're overweight is because you've never consistently exercised. And she's like, oh.
Next Level Nation, we would love to invite you to our 18th round of Next Level group coaching. It is the Next Level Podcast Accelerator. If you are a podcaster who wants to level yourself up, level your podcast up, and level your business up, this 12-week program is perfect for you.
So we've done this 18 times. We've iterated and iterated and improved and improved. The first 4 weeks is level up yourself. The next 4 weeks is level up your podcast. The last 4 weeks is level up your business, build a brand underneath your business. The promo code is NLU Listener, all one word. Put that in at checkout for 30% off. It comes to less than $25 per session for the 12 sessions. Kevin or I will be on every single one of them. We hope to see you there. Well, if you tell yourself a story, it's because you quit smoking, you're not going to do anything about it. And this is nothing against my mother. I don't want people to lie to themselves. Remember at Next Level Live when I pulled up a slide, there's a picture of me drunk, blacked out drunk, terrible photo of me in my early 20s. And then there's a photo on the right, a transformation photo of me and Emilia just happy, healthy, and in love. And on the slide, it said bad choices in big red letters, bold, and good choices in big green letters. And I stopped everything I was doing. I told the whole audience, like, I made terrible fucking choices. That's the truth. And a lot of people say, no, don't be so hard on yourself. Like, listen, the truth is, until you admit you're making terrible choices or bad choices, pick the label, you're not going to work hard on changing them. Like, the reason I quit drinking is because I knew that my goals required me to. My fitness goals in particular. And so, number 1, set a goal. Number 2, bullshit radar. I think we have that more than we realize. I think we're conditioned to lock it up. because of shame within ourselves, insecurity, or social conditioning. I was definitely conditioned. The old me never would have said that to my mom. The old me wasn't man enough, wasn't courageous enough, wasn't grown up enough. I used to just lock in my head, think, wow, that's not going to help you. And then just keep it to myself. I don't do that anymore. I used to be a fucking coward. The third one, I would say, is what's the new action plan based on the accurate story? And that's
3 steps.
3 steps. That's how you change.
3 steps. So I have a visualization for how you know you're lying to yourself. Okay? Will it work? Don't know. But this is how I imagine it. And I think it works for me. I think it lands for me. When I'm lying to myself, it feels like I am taking something away from the pile. And that pile is my self-worth. When I'm not undiluting myself, it feels like I'm adding something to the pile.
Nice.
So I have this, what would the best version of Kevin do? What would the best version of Kevin do? That is essentially, am I lying to myself right now? And there's always this moment where like I throw the ball in my head and it's like it could get intercepted, could get caught. It might hit somebody in the stands and knock the popcorn all over the fucking place. Anything could happen here. It usually 99.9 times out of 100 gets caught. It always gets caught, but it's just a matter of how long does it take.
So that pile for you is self-worth?
I would say that pile is
So you're stacking self-worth.
probably self-worth /
For me, it's self-respect. I lose respect for myself very quickly when I'm a coward or I'm lying to myself.
You can label it out there for you, whatever it would be.
Self-esteem, self-worth, self-love, self-respect,
Self-trust.
Self-trust, yeah. You can't build authentic self-love or self-esteem or self-respect or self-worth, I don't believe, while lying to yourself. I've tried. I deluded myself for a long time of, drinking's totally fine, and yeah, that's not a big deal, and yeah, okay. Like, I always use the cheating on the vocab test. Like, that hurt my self-respect, for sure. Of course. I still regret it. I seriously still regret it. Mm-hmm. Now, do I think I should be chastised for that? No, of course not, right? I mean, I'm a kid.
What does that mean, chastised?
Honestly, man, I don't know, and I don't want to get into it, even the thought of it. Mm-mm.
I don't
Is
know.
Chastity belt, like, basically chastised means you just don't...
I've never heard of that before. A chastity belt means you can't do sex, I think.
I think that's right.
You have a metal belt.
So chastised means you can't do sex?
You can't do sex.
I guess. All right.
Okay.
Well, here's the point. I don't want to get stuck in the shame of, you cheated on a vocab test. You're the worst student ever.
Yeah.
And that takes away everything you did with the straight A's and the President's Award. No. But it's not as awesome as someone who didn't.
Well, it's not unforgivable.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
but it's
there's
also
very little that is. But there's levels to shame, and I think that's why we lie to ourselves is shame. I do.
I have a question really quick before we get out of here. Well, I guess it's not a question. It's more of a statement. We were talking about this before. How sometimes, hang with me when I say this, because this is going to be very concrete and maybe blanket. Oftentimes, when you tell the truth about yourself, people who are still lying to themselves about themselves try to save you from your truth.
Yeah.
Maybe not all the time are they lying to themselves. I don't know. But getting over that is one of the hardest parts, because I will say, when I started this journey, I was not that smart. And people would be like, well, no, you were. No, I just wasn't. I wasn't. Let me tell you about me. Why don't you just let me tell you about me? Because
they're insecure that if you think you're not smart, they think they're not smart, and you trigger their exile.
That is totally fair, but
it's like when you and I consider ourselves out of shape because we're comparing to our old standard. Same.
But that doesn't
they think
mean
to themselves,
well,
exactly. But that's where their insecurities go. And that's how irrational insecurities make us is, if Kevin and Alan think they're out of shape, they must think I'm really out of shape. No, we don't.
I ain't thinking about you. I'm thinking about me.
We're comparing to our standards. I was watching some videos earlier. Oh my goodness. You and me, man. What the hell happened?
I'm back, baby.
All right. Not the kid, though.
170.
I'm coming back now. Don't save me from this. I got to be truthful.
You're coming back.
Dude, I was jacked, man.
Well, for sure.
Oh my
176.7 today.
Nice.
New low. And I'm hungry and suffering. So things are working.
This
fairly
episode
well.
brought to you by Lenny and Larry's Cookies. I'm joking. Seriously.
If you want to fart your partner out of the room, grab a Lenny and Larry's.
One thing I got to read real quick. I know we got to go. All right. I had a client who
reading?
I believe is on the highest end of statistical success for probability in the future. And I'm so freaking proud of this client. Anonymous. She said, it's wild how good of a job we do lying to ourselves and then lying to others. Which, by the way, if you're lying to yourself, you most likely are lying to others as well. Makes perfect sense. I said that is the base problem of why a low percentage of people achieves their goals and dreams. You can't make optimal decisions with inaccurate data. The true sign of maturity is how honest someone is with themselves. That's what I'm always looking for. And she said, there are still a lot of places in my life that I'm delulu and telling stories to myself to make myself feel better, or at least to make my parts feel better, even if it feels like shit. I want to get really good at understanding these and working with them / through them. I have
What
one
else you
more
got for
thing.
us there, besides those mouth noises?
Yeah, sorry about that. But there's something in there. Oh, I said when you were with blank, you were very delusional. I said it was the only time I started hating spending time with you. And I said, this is the reason why most people don't like me, because I'm extremely honest. And this is what I'll end with. This person was with someone who I think was horrible for her. And again, she agrees. Definitely now. And I tried to tell her, just like you've tried to tell me in the past. And I wasn't ready to listen. She wasn't ready to listen, right? And when she was with this person who was wildly delusional, she got more delusional and egoed up constantly. And I was coaching her at the time. And I that was the only time I didn't like coaching this person. Is you're just so delusional. My job is just to undilute you constantly. Because if you think it's a road and it's actually a cliff, the self-driving car is just going to keep driving off a cliff and then blaming the world or blaming yourself or blaming other people, when in reality, it's actually your own delusion. And my job as a coach, if you hire me, for anyone out there watching or listening, if you hire me as a coach, it's my job to help you think more accurately. Because then you can make good decisions and play the chess game so you can actually achieve your goals. Because if you don't know what the pieces do and you don't know where the pieces are, it's like trying to play chess when the board is all run amok. You can't do it. So that's one of the base reasons why we don't. Yeah.
Horse does an L.
Horse does an L. But if you think the horse is over here and it's actually over here, and you think the knight is over here, the knight is the horse. But the point is accurate thinking, I think, and again, I know I'm over the top with this, but that's why rationality is so important to me. Because I know that rationality, that's why people are afraid of AI. It's more intelligent than them. Right? So if you get smarter, you become the chess master instead of the pawn. We've all felt what it's like to be young and under the thumb of our parents or under the thumb of so-and-so. And when you get really, really, really smart, really, really, really brilliant, you become unhoodwinkable. People can't lie to you. You take back the reins of your own future.
Take back the reins of your own future.
Mm-hmm.
Could be a song name. A little long for a band name, but I could see that as a song name for sure.
Take Back the Reins? It's a good song.
That could be a band.
I think.
TBR, Take Back the Reins. Whew. Wow. Anything you want to add quickly? Next level lesson. My next level lesson. Let me get a word in edgewise here, if I may. Totally kidding. Alan and I are in weird moods. I don't know what's happening. We're crumbling. We're crumbling under the weight of the pressure we've created for ourselves, but also smiling doing it. Mine would be when you come to terms with the truth that you're ready to accept and live in and live with. Don't let other people lessen it for you, because they're gonna try to. This is the fact of it. I was out of shape. I'm not comparing to you. I'm not saying you need to compare to me. I'm not telling you how to live your life in any way, shape, or form. I know how I used to look. You might not know how I used to look. I expect that you do. You have a life. Of course you don't know how I used to look. You have your own life. You don't have to worry about what I used to look like 10 years ago, but I do. That's up to me. That's up to me. And if I lie to myself, I'm the one who has to deal with the repercussions of that, not you. In this case, at least. / if you need a little extra necessity, if you're lying to yourself, you're affecting other people too. Whether you Whether you want to believe that or not, you are. That would be my next level lesson to end with. What is yours, good sir?
My next level lesson is try to get around people where the standards for self-honesty are higher. One of the base ways to improve your life is to just start being really honest with yourself about the things that you're disappointed with. That's where I started. It's like, listen, you are out of shape. Listen, you do drink too much. You do hang out with people that might not be going places. Like, that changed my life. And you're going to get the feedback eventually. So give it to yourself now and make some changes.
Next Level Nation, Group 18 of group coaching, the Next Level Podcast Accelerator, starts on Tuesday, April 15th, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Group is filling up nicely with super amazing aligned people. If you want to be in the group, please let us know, and we will get you all set up. Level up yourself, level up your podcast, level up your business. We would love to have you. Link will be in the show notes. As always, we love you. We appreciate you. Grateful for each and every one of you. And at NLU, we don't have fans. We have family. We'll talk to you all tomorrow.
Stay next level honest with yourself. Next Level Nation.